Okay, hello, welcome to the Arc tutorial. This level's widely considered to be one of the more difficult levels, and it's also quite long. So this video is probably gonna be pretty long as well. I won't go too much into detail on like all different strats, but I try to cover I'll try to cover a few different strats in a few sections where I think it's necessary, or it might be helpful to know different strats. So the first thing in this level is pretty simple. If you hold the button that's bound to exiting vehicles, so for me on bumper jumper that's B, you get out of the Pelican faster there. On default controls, I think that would be like right bumper. And then we're just gonna walk over here. You can sort of kind of take a shortcut here by going over these rocks. This jump can be a bit tricky, but you kind of just want to aim somewhere around here, jump on this rock and crouch jump, and you should make it up there. And then just jump over here. Then you can do a slide jump here. There's like two different ways to do this, but this is probably the easier one. And then this is sort of, I guess, the first little difficult area here. Our goal is to kill the leader brute and hopefully the other brute, one more brute as well, and that'll make sort of the grunts disperse. And there's three brutes, so the third brute should hopefully not be much of a threat either, because he's kind of usually out of view, so he shouldn't really be able to kill us. So we're gonna be doing like collat shots on the two brutes. I'll try to show that. So you shoot the leader brute once, and then shoot the other brute and try to line up the collateral. Where's my cutscene? Checkpoint. Okay, that's pretty good. I guess I can show the other slide jump here as well. I think this one's a little faster. Something like that. And you also want to pick up the brute shot from the leader brute here. So try to get the brute shots. Sometimes this equipment will be blocked by the other brute's equipment. So if like one of the brutes drops a flare and the other drops a bubble, then you'll get the prompt to pick up a new equipment, and that'll like block you from picking up the brute shot sometimes. So that's pretty annoying, and could prevent you from doing the strat in the next area. Technically, you can always back it up with an equipment jump, but I think that's probably pretty difficult. So you could try that. I think that's in my full game PB if you want to see that. But otherwise, I'm just gonna continue. So yeah, kill those jackals. Switch to with the brute shot. You actually only need to kill the jackal that's here, the far in jackal. But you can kill them both if you're like low on shields. And then switch to your sniper and kill these guys. And then you want to come over here and take out this jackal. I think they're already alerted since I went so slow. But then you want to do this jump. I guess I'll try to explain it a bit instead of just doing it. So, where am I? Okay, this jump. The setup I use, there's a few different ways you can do it, but I'll show the setup I use. So, I sort of, you wanna, wait, let me take out this guy first. I put my crosshair somewhere around this area, and once I get to the, or sort of in this angle, and sort of once it gets to the shadow, I'll jump and press grenade at the same time. And sort of the most important thing about your crosshair placement is that it's sort of in the middle of, it's in the middle of this line and it's in the middle of here and here. So it's in the sort of in the middle of this side of the box. And if you just press jump and nade at the same time, and then jump on top of the box, you want to turn in midair and do the brute shot jump. I don't know, it's not that difficult, but it can take some practice. I'll show the other strat if you either miss getting the brute shot or you just don't want to do this. Also, I guess I'll You don't have to like turn around midair. Some people like to do this. I think it's easier to just turn around midair though. But yeah, you can do that if you want. So if you're not doing that, you would... If you're not doing this strat, then you would not pick up a brute shot. You would just have your BR here. And you would come over here and do a tricky jump up here. And if you have a bubble, you could throw it there. Otherwise, you would probably turn around and try to BR this guy. And you saw I lagged a bit there. That's because there's two load zones overlapping here. So it like loads some area over and over again, and it starts lagging the game. But after that, you wanna throw an A there. I'll redo this so I can show it fast. I'll pick up this carbine as well, since I would have a BR here. Let's go over here. Hopefully this jackal doesn't see you too early. So jump on top of this thing, jump somewhere, something like that. It's honestly a really tricky jump, and I think the brute shot strat is actually easier than this jump. So that's why I recommend doing the brute shot jump. But I'll try to show this properly. Oh, yeah, I really don't like this jump. I haven't done it in a long time because there's usually no reason to do it. But can do it. So imagine I have a BR here instead of the carbine, I guess. So this in-game lag doesn't actually lose you time because it, you know, pauses the in-game timer, and it'll pause the theater time as well. Or not pause, but it'll lag in theater as well. So something like that. And if you're doing, I'll go back to the brute shot strat real quick. What's really important about the brute shot strat is after you hit the jump and you go over here, you keep holding your brute shot. And as you see, the grunts get scared. That's because the brute shot has a sort of scariness factor, where it counts as a scary weapon and will make sort of smaller enemies disperse and run away. So it's really important that you keep your brute shot out and don't switch to your sniper. So that's sort of the first area, I guess. Over here, come over here, make sure you pick up 2 plasma grenades here. And then we're gonna come here and snipe this guy. You can take the mongoose here, but I recommend when you're starting out to do this other strat that I'm gonna show. You actually, oh, I actually remembered, you don't actually need to snipe the root when you're doing this strat. You only need to do that when you're using the mongoose strat. So you want to line up here. You should get a checkpoint like right around here. So line up your reticle with this white part of the rock cliff behind, and shoot as soon as you see the prowler. And it should hit. It's a pretty wide area you can shoot at. I think it's slightly different on MCC. The prowler position is slightly different, but yeah. And then you want to jump on this rock, wait for the other prowler to go past, and just take this one. And that's a lot safer than the mongoose strats. Then this prowler, you can take some different driving paths here, but I think this one works best. You can go to the left as well if you're dying to the choppers or something. And make sure as long as you have pretty clean driving, you should make it here to this ghost just in time to be able to board it before it drives away. So once you get the ghost, oh, nice physics. Once you get the ghost, you want to drive over here. If you have no shields, just wait for shields before you drive past these turrets. And then we're gonna be sort of climbing this cliff to avoid mainly to avoid some ghosts. So you want to come to the left side of this rock is what I do. You want to hold A or hold whatever, jump is bound to. Drop down here. Go kind of slowly to get around this corner. You really need to take this carefully so you don't get too much downward momentum and fall down. And then you can just sort of go over here and go up here. And here it's very important that you don't go too far left here or too far right from my side. because if I do that, you see there's no enemies over here. But if I go over here a bit, I'll spawn in some, and we want to skip those spawns. So that's the main reason why we're going up here. If you do fall down during this climb, don't worry, there's a backup. So you can come over here to this rock, go like this, go to the left to get up faster, and then you're up again. And then you can just redo this. Sometimes this ghost can be kind of mean, but it's very rare for them to actually kill you. So once you've done that, we're up to dawn fight. This fight is pretty difficult, I think. There's sort of a lot of factors. A lot can go wrong, and there's a lot to keep track of. I guess I'll show the regular strat first. So we want to snipe the turret guy, and after you've done that, this guy should be in a position where you can line up a rocket shot on his leg. So line up your sniper vertical right in his leg like this, and then switch to your rocket and just shoot there, and it should hit him. And then you don't want to shoot, if you did prowler strats, you don't want to shoot an extra rocket on this tower here, because then you'll have one rocket too little. So once you've done that, you want to boost down here, destroy this turret, and then get out right by the turret. Don't drive up to the ghost, to the right of the ghost, just get out right there. And then start sort of sniping these guys whilst you're making your way up here. Actually, I was doing the wrong strats there. You don't, when you haven't shot this tower, you don't want to snipe the brutes. You just kind of want to snipe the grunt. I got away with it here because the ghosts were slow, but you actually just want to snipe that turret grunt. That should be your number one priority. And then after that, you want to take out the wraiths. Sort of, they can be in different positions. Right here, I had a really good ghost, so I could just take the ghost up to them, and that usually won't be the case. You usually have to walk, or I don't know. It's a lot of sort of improvising. And once you've taken out the wraiths, just try to get the brutes. Hopefully don't run out of sniper ammo like I did. And once you've taken out the brutes, you should get this dialogue. I'm trying to like checkpoint because I want to show a different strat as well for this. So this is, I'll show the sort of newbie strat if you're having a lot of trouble with this fight. I think this is still faster if you die with the ghost strat, then this is probably faster than retrying the ghost strat. Again, just doing this once. So you want to take the chopper, and then you can just sort of long range snipe the turrets and the wraith from here. And when you're shooting the chopper like this, if you tap the button, if I just hold like this, that's how fast it goes. But if I spam the button, it shoots way faster. So that's what I'm doing here. So we got the wraith, then you can take out this. You can line up the rocket shot as well. You can sort of snipe the brutes. And the ghost should come up here, I think. Yeah, so the ghost will come out, so you can take out the ghost with your chopper as well. And then it's kind of the same as the other side. I'm not sure where the other ghost went. Oh, there he is. There's a brute right next to me, so I'm kind of scared of him. Alright. Yeah, just sort of take it out casual style pretty much. I'll stop there, but you get the idea. Just take out the wraiths the same way pretty much. And I'll show the ghost trap once again, and then I'll move on. Just so I can do proper strats afterwards. Alright, so remember to leave your ghost at the turret here. The reason we do that, by the way, is if you don't leave your ghost that far behind, then a brute will get in the ghost and he'll actually come up to the wraiths and start shooting you from behind. But if you leave it right there, then a brute can enter it, but he won't actually move most of the time. So wait around this corner. Sometimes the ghost can be like delayed a bunch, and it can be really annoying. But you sort of have to improvise if that happens. Then be wary of the brutes getting in the ghost. That's probably like your biggest threat in this fight. Is brutes yoinking ghosts and ruining your day. So once you get the checkpoint and the music stops, you know the fight is over. The next section has some quite difficult strats you can do, and some very easy strats you can do. Like, there's like 3 different strats you can do, and they all... I mean, there's one that's fastest, and I would recommend learning, but there are other safer strats you can try as well if you're having trouble with that. So, first of all, if you look at the sky here until you see this sort of white thing pop up, it starts the dawn coming down faster. This dawn coming down sequence, it starts way faster if you do that, because Bungie like wanted you to watch their cool like cutscene they made. So I think I'm definitely late to this right now because I was explaining things. But for this trick I'm gonna show, you won't need to get your ghost over here by the time like way before the dawn comes down, or like not way before, but before the dawn comes down. And I mentioned you can look at the sky to make the dawn come down faster, but if you don't really have time to get your ghost over there, like if there's a brute delaying you like right here, like right now, I'm not sure, I think it's this guy. So see, he's gotten in my ghost and he's just stuck here, but he's decided to move now, I think, which is kind of unfortunate, but it happens sometimes sort of after the fight is done. Oh no, it's actually... oh. It's this guy over here. Okay, let me kill this guy. Wait, where is he? There he is. Okay, so I'm not looking at this guy, so I have some more time to set this up. I'm ready now. I got my fuel rod, I got my brute shot. Both of those are necessary for this trick. I'll look at the sky to make the dawn come down fast. And I start setting up my ghost. So I set up on this rock. Aim at the rock in the top of the rock in the background, and the audio cue for when to start this trick is sort of once the epic music starts playing, or like right before. So right there. And you should just kind of fly up here. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you. That's pretty unlucky, unfortunate if that happens.
Commander, bring her down.
Roger that. Beginning my descent.
Yeah, it's very important not to flip your ghost. You need to be really fast for this trick to actually work. So I'll try to show it again.
Here she comes. Is the dawn rated for atmosphere? Guess we're gonna find out.
So there we go, let's look at that rock. There you go, I didn't bump the rock this time, but then you want to immediately boost up here. And I was fast enough here. I'm delaying checkpoint just to make sure I can show this. See this sort of, what do you call it, this like ridge here? You have to make it over this ridge before you're forced out of your ghost. Because once the sort of blowing air sequence stops, you're forced out of your vehicle, and you have to make it over this before that point, or you won't clip out of bounds. So I actually went back inbounds now, so I can't do the trick. But yeah, if you don't make it over that, you won't clip out of bounds. That's just how this works. It has something to do with like when you get into the ghost, you have to be completely inbounds, not touching a soft barrier. And if you try to sort of clip back out of bounds when you're up there, you're already touching the soft barrier, so that's why it doesn't work. By the way, if those boxes are like blown over, so they're to the side, then you might not be able to pick up a fuel rod or root shot. You have to like, if that happens, you have to like nade them or something to be able to pick up stuff. So that time worked. Got over the ridge in time, and now I'm gonna push the ghost. I'm gonna delay checkpoint because I want to be able to show different strats, but normally wait here until you get a checkpoint before you proceed. So if I try to get back in my ghost, it's just gonna like fly backwards because it's partly inside the soft barrier, and we need to get it completely out of bounds to be able to drive it out of bounds. So the way we do that is we push it with a brute shot like this. But like I said, make sure you get a checkpoint before you do this, because sometimes the ghost can sort of just blow up. Once you get it past this line in the rock right here, sort of this, then it should be about safe to enter. So this should be fine. I don't want to risk getting a checkpoint, so I'm not gonna try it. But yeah, that's what you do. And I'll show the other strat now, if I can remember it. So, same as before, we're gonna get a brute shot and a fuel rod. This time it's not too important to be fast, but if you just let go of everything, then you shouldn't get blown by the wind too much. Just a little bit. You can set up here or on the other side. We just need to be close enough. So if you're at this rock, or at like sort of in this place, then you should be close enough to hit the black bars here. If you're down here, then you won't start the sequence. So we're gonna go over to this cave and then just turn back because we need to hit the trigger. So once we've done that, we so this is called tank teleport. What I'm doing right here. So the way this tank section works is once you've hit that trigger by the cave and you leave the area, or all the tanks will teleport forward, because it's sort of a catch-up mechanic just to make sure the tanks don't get stuck anywhere. But actually going over here to the edge of this cliff counts as leaving the area. So if I hit that trigger, now all the tanks are gone, and yeah, now we just need to get through the cave in order to continue. So take this drawing path. This I might die here because this. Okay, I'm fine. You can sort of hide behind these rocks to get shields if you lost them, and then come over here, right to the left of these rocks just to be safe, and get one of these tanks. And then I won't show the tank strats just because it's like outdated and I don't want to get a checkpoint to have to restart the level and stuff. But you can watch like some old IL if you want to see that. Alright, so once you're at this point, again, wait for a checkpoint, get the ghost over. Now if you're actually doing this strat, you actually want to drive the ghost over there. Keep in mind, if you don't want to do tank teleport and you don't want to do this, then you can just take the tank and sort of just go the casual route. That was the strat like 2 years ago. But yeah, if you're doing this strat, take the ghost, drive over here. Here there's, if you see this like line in the wall, there's actually a wall here. So make sure you go to the left of this. Then here you need to slow down before you drop back down inbounds, otherwise you'll die to the full timer. So just slow down the easy way off the edge. And then you'll be at the end of this fight. Or sort of at the end of this tank section. So the problem is we don't have a tank for this fight, which complicates things a bit. The way we're gonna do it is we're gonna go over here and we're gonna try to spawn kill the Phantom, so we don't have to deal with an extra Wraith and all the extra troops it drops. So we're gonna do a slide jump off this rock here. So I'll go up here, jump at the edge of this, and land to the right on this more steeper part. Should get up here. Switch your fuel rod. Shoot this twice. Reload your ray. You reload your fuel rod gun, and then we wanna spawn kill this Phantom. It's these wings you see here is a weak spot. So optimally, if you hit them, it should only take 4 fuel rods to take out the Phantom. If you kill the Phantom fast enough, then this Wraith will die to fall timer, and you won't have to kill it. Since I was kind of slow there, it survived. I had to go kill it after. So once we're taking care of the Phantom, we're gonna get this chopper and go over here. We're gonna splatter this gun. Use the rapid fire chopper thing to take out the turret faster. Boost to the right of this Wraith. He's in a really weird spot right now. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if I can even get this. I'm probably dead. Yeah. So yeah, that can happen apparently. Never. I don't think I've seen him in that spot before. But yeah, a lot of weird stuff can happen. I think my best choice there would have been to, instead of trying to get the Wraith, I should have just went over with the chopper to the second Wraith to try to board that as well. So there's a lot of improvisation you need to do. That should work, yeah. So now the Wraith is gonna die. See, the Wraith driver and gunner died to fall timer, so I don't need to take care of it. Again, come over here, splatter that, shoot this, rapid fire. Big chopper. Wanna be really quick, boosting to the right of the Wraith, and then jump up really fast to sort of melee the gunner like that. That's the most consistent way to be able to take him out. You wanna get the Wraith. This Wraith might be shooting at you right as you board it, and then you wanna make sure you like sort of boost away. Be wary of that. Wraith takes 4 shots to kill. Then you just wanna boost back over here and be aware of the choppers. Sometimes it might be here, sort of waiting for you. If they are, you can sort of take them out with the Wraith. Then you want to get another one of these choppers and boost over here. If you do get like choppers and Wraith and ghosts, then the door might open a bit faster, so it might be worth trying to take him out. But then otherwise, just like sort of wait for the door to open. This door takes a while with this strat, but it's still faster than taking the Wraith by about 50 seconds, than taking the tank by about 50 seconds, I think, and like 30 seconds faster than tank teleport. So once the door opens, get in here. If you did tank strats, you may need to make sure to look into this corner until you see Guilty Spark appear on your map, and that'll teleport him downward. If you're doing sort of tank teleport or the out of bounds, then you don't really need to worry about that because he's not even here, so he'll teleport anyways. This driving can be pretty awkward, especially if you're using the MCC chopper, but take it careful is the most important thing. Just don't try to go too fast or you'll just end up bumping into stuff and completely ruining it. So you can get off that ledge as long as you don't boost off it. If you boost off that ledge, then you'll die to fall timer. And I also shot in midair with the chopper, and that sort of straightens you out of it, so you get a better landing. And then you want to make sure you go to the left. There's this pile of rocks here, and then come over here. You can pick up these spike grenades because we have some time to kill before the scarab goes down. So you sort of want to time your driving so that you come down here, you come down to the spot we're gonna spawn kill it from, right before it drops down, and that way the Wraith won't be able to snipe you, because the Wraith shot takes so long to travel through the air. This board, my lineup for this is I look at this line on the in the ground. I'm not sure how clear you can see it on the video, but this sort of very faded line here. I line up with this, make sure I'm flush with it, and stand sort of in the middle of the shadow. It's my lineup probably isn't very good if you're just starting out. Like it's a lot of feel, knowing knowing where to stand. But that's the lineup I use. For this board, I'll show this once, and then I'll show the easier strat, which I would probably recommend if you're new, because this is probably pretty hard. Oh, good, I got this checkpoint. Okay, good. That means I'll be able to show this a lot quicker. So, over here, make sure your chopper isn't like where the scarab leg is gonna go. So once the cue for when to do this is once the blob on the radar for the scarab or the scarab core sort of goes over your character, or right before it goes over your character. So somewhere around there, you want to do it. And then the core is invincible for the start. So you have to wait a bit until you can shoot it. So that's the sort of strat I do. It's the fastest. You can also take a grab lift, but that's a really bad strat. So sort of the easier strat is to put your chopper over here by this black spot. Come over here by these two small rocks right here. Line up on this far one. And once the scarab goes over you, do a brute shot jump like that. And then just I was slow enough where they spawned here. Trying to explain stuff, but then just walk over here, shoot the core. It's not much slower, and then if you did it fast enough, then you should drop off right next to your chopper. I'll show it again like properly. So if you do this, you need to be kind of fast driving to make to sort of place your chopper properly and set it up. So sort of, actually it might be good to do it sort of slightly after the radar goes over you. Try not to shoot yourself, so now you see the choppers like right in front of me as they go off. And then the strat here is the same for both strat, whatever you did to board the scarab. You just want to take the chopper over here. And if you get this load and you see that pelican appear, then you know you're good. We want to come over here, and we're gonna do a jump here. Just boost off this ramp. It should land here. Sometimes it can be a bit stupid, but just dumb chopper physics. I'm gonna come up here, and you wanna drop down over this here, and then you want to jump out of your chopper mid-air to make sure you avoid the full timer. Then there's gonna be a beam rifle jackal here. You can sort of wait up there until you see the jackals come by on your minimap, and then you can drop down and sort of kill him from above like that. And then you want to get either a beam rifle or a carbine or whatever. And you want to shoot this marine. I'm shooting here. That's far in that you can see. And that'll skip, because that marine has sort of a dialogue between Spark, so that'll skip his dialogue. Saves like 10 seconds or so. And you want to switch, so you have fuel rod and sentinel beam. And then you want to go in here. If you don't have a bubble shield at this point, then you can kill this guy for a bubble shield. Hopefully he drops one, because you really want to have a bubble shield for this next area. And here I should have delayed this checkpoint by mailing a couple times until I'm like here, and I should have got the checkpoint a bit later. But I forgot to do that because I was talking. And you want to sort of hug the wall here. And I got pretty lucky, and they didn't detect me. That definitely won't happen every time. That probably happens like a third of the time, maybe. Um, but yeah. Then you wanna do what I just did. So it's pretty important once you stick the brute at the start there, you wanna walk down this, like down this sort of riverbed here, whatever sort of pathway here that's lower down, and that'll sort of block you from other enemies. Let's see if they. So yeah, the reason they're asleep is I got lucky and the marine or arbiter didn't alert the enemies in the previous room. So throw a spike grenade that on that guy if you have it. Try to stick the first brute if you run the other guy, and if you have a bubble shield, throw it there, and then just go in here. The bubble shield should prevent you from this brute right here. That'll be here sometimes. If you don't have a bubble, then you can try to throw a distraction nade as you go past. But otherwise, it's just kind of praying he doesn't shoot you. And then come over here, press the button, skip the cutscene, and we're on the sort of escape sequence now. So now we need to go back to the bottom floor. You can do a slide jump there. You should get a checkpoint here. Once you come through this area, you want to make sure you're holding the fuel rod again to make these grunts afraid. And then there'll be some jackals here. Try to avoid getting overcharged with some fuel rods, and you can throw a frag or plasmas. It kind of sucks to get overcharged. It's not the end of the world, but really try to avoid it if you can. I got pretty good RNG here. And usually you can get through this area by spamming the Mauler guys with fuel rod, and then either backsmacking the chieftain or just running past him. The Mauler guys take 2 fuel rods each, but usually they'll take splatter damage from one of your previous fuel rods, so usually it'll only take 3 fuel rods to kill them. And then if they haven't thrown a regen by the time you kill them, then try to sort of spam throw his regen as you pick it up. So for the camera room, we want to switch to Sentinel Beam. There's one that spawns here, one that spawns in that corner, one that spawns in this corner, and I think the 4th one spawns somewhere around here. He's right here now. This is a good checkpoint actually. So you need to be fast here, or you'll probably be slowed down quite a lot because they move out of their spawn points fairly quickly, and then it can be super annoying to find them because they throw radar jammers. Sometimes this guy will do what he just did here and just start running immediately. The guy that's up top will jump down here and walk over here, and the 4th guy moved over here this time. Usually he'll be around here. You can sort of check with your sentinel beam if they're around you by sort of spamming it and shooting around, because sometimes it can be a bit hard to see them. I'll try to show a fast example. So now they're in pretty good spots where they usually are. So for this last fight, you usually want, well, optimally you want 4 sticky grenades, or sort of any of the spike grenades, plasma grenades, or fire grenades. You want 4 of those. So if you don't have sort of enough, you can jump here, and you can pick up plasmas through the floor. So now I have 3, so that should be enough, but I'd preferably have more, but this should work. And then once you come in here, by the way, you don't need to kill those jackals, you can just run past them. So I like to fuel rod these 2 4 guys, and stick the other guys, and since I don't have a 4th nade, I'll just fuel rod this guy and melee him with the Sentinel Beam. Sentinel Beam has a very strong melee, it's like the same strength as Brute Shot, I think. Once you kill the chieftain, these jackals should spawn, so take him out with fuel rod and nades. Usually a nades will be more consistent than fuel rod, but there I used both, so kinda works. Whatever works. And yeah, then the Pelican should spawn. if you don't get the load, then either some probably if you don't get the load, that means something is left in this area. Since because the way this ending works is if anything is live in this last area, anything past uh, anything past this door right here, if anything is alive, then the level won't end. So once everything is dead in this area, then the level will start ending. So if you didn't kill all the camo guys, then they'll actually walk in here and prevent the level from ending. So that's why we need to kill them. And the reason we don't need to kill the jackals usually is because they'll just stay in the camo room. They won't actually follow you. Uh, but obviously, if they're a threat to you living, then you can't just kill them. There's no problem with that. Well, yeah. Loading done. 20 seconds. Then the Pelican spawns, and you're done. So yeah, that was Ark.
Commander.
I think most people consider this a pretty difficult level. Uh, there's definitely a lot of like long reverts you can get. So a Dawn fight or a Scarab clear or the Spark fight. That's the one where you just have a ghost and you're taking out the Phantom and 2 wraiths. So probably might take some practice to get down, but hopefully this will help you either learn or if it was just enjoyable to watch. But yeah, thank you for watching anyway, and see ya.